All right, welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for sportsmockery.com. Join my good friend, co-host Ficky, also a writer for Sports Mockery. And what a game. What a game. I know we're a little bit late here, 11-12 after an insane Bears game. Just going to go ahead and give you guys our instant reactions. And I got to be honest, this might be a little unhinged, so bear with us. No pun intended there, but this is an incredible game. This is a moment I think a lot of us are going to remember. Being at this game would have been nuts. I know a lot of people that were there, so awesome stuff. But we're going to start instant reactions. Bears, Packers. Bears win. They are now first in the NFC North, number 2 seed, and really in full control. Whoever won this one is going to be in the driver's seat. So I'll start, Fick. I'll bounce it over to you in a second. But this is a game where I feel like one of the most infuriating games, one of the most upsetting games to watch personally. This entire game, I was like, this team is much better than they're playing. And it's one of the most undisciplined Bears games we've probably watched from this unit. The coaching staff, Ben Johnson, did not have a good game calling this one. The Bears defense could not stop Michael Vick. And it sucks that he was able to play. But no, really, Malik Willis played his ass off. And the coaching from Matt LaFleur, and I think Caleb said it best after his post game, right? He said this team out on the other side is a hell of a team. And I love, first of all, the class that he had there to show Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers. He hates them. He's a killer. We saw that, like the kill shot, right? The throw to DJ Moore. But he has a lot of class from him. And if you look back at the draft, all these storylines, it could not be further from the truth. He is one of the most mentally tough individuals I've ever seen witnessed in Chicago sports. And that there's a lot of athletes out there that have played and come through Chicago that are clutch. But Caleb Williams, I mean, my God, 5 minutes left. They're down 10. And he delivers the field goal drive. That was a little rough, right? But they get the field goal. And then on top of that, Fick, I don't know what's more impressive. And I guess we could talk about it for the next hour and a half here. Was it the 4th and 4? Fading up a free runner to his face. He's fading to his right, off his back foot, fade away jumper throw. And then
what a catch, too.
Away.
Yeah, what a catch.
Insane catch by a rookie wide receiver that was just called up. That wide receiver room is deep. We can have a whole pod on that. But that throw was incredible because the game is on the line. Now, the kill shot to DJ Moore is just
that might be the best one. I'm sorry.
Did he not underthrow to Cole Kmet, right?
Cole Kmet, to DJ?
To lose the game to Packers.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about? Which one?
So if we go back to the Packers game where he underthrew
you're talking about the last game. Yeah, he underthrew.
What if he underthrows this one?
In the 20-mile-an-hour wind.
There's a huge possibility that he underthrows it, that it gets caught in the wind. But his arm talent is one of one. I think it's better than Josh Allen. I think it's the best in the league. And for him to have the game that he did, and then deliver in those 3 key drives. And then the throw to DJ Moore. First of all, credit to DJ. How awesome is he? How awesome is he, guys?
Needed that.
He is unbelievable. And I'm so happy he's getting his flowers. But Caleb Williams I think he truly is a superstar. He's unique where the numbers, if you look at the box score, you look at the and I think this is where he's an anomaly. They talked about the efficiency, right? I think it was under 50% again. I'm not sure.
Let's look at it. Let's go to it real quick. Let's
see it.
Look where he was at. He was 19 for 34, so slightly above 50% because that overtime. Before overtime, he was under 50% completion because in overtime, he completed, 4 out of 5 or something like that? 250 passing yards. Nice to see. 2 touchdowns. What's huge here, 0 interceptions. Another thing on here that's important that wasn't brought up was 0 sacks given up. And I know he evaded that one from Quay Walker, so shout out to him with a QBR rating of 98.9. But yeah, another game where it's around 50%. But as you know, a main factor in that is that he throws the ball away a lot. He probably threw the ball away 5 to 6 times this game again because he doesn't get sacked. He runs away, sees it's not open, and he throws the ball away. And so that obviously adds to his completion percentage dropping. And that's why I think even after this game, he's bottom 5 in completion percentage in the NFL. So, yeah, but he doesn't get sacked and he doesn't turn the ball over. So it's like, I think I'd rather have that. Now, I agree with you, Dave, on your reaction here. The first 3.5 games, I'm furious, man. 10 penalties. This team had
quarters.
10...
You mean quarters?
Sorry, 3.5.
Okay.
It felt like 3.5 halves. Yeah. No, thank you. Quarters.
No, I got you.
10 penalties for 103 or 110 yards. That's a full drive. That's actually, in today's NFL, that's almost like a drive and a half. So they were obviously putting themselves in horrible situation, not a disadvantaged situation. They, like you said, the most undisciplined game I've seen by them so far. I think I have a different take. I don't know what your thoughts are on this but I actually felt, and we'll get to the grades of the game here, but I felt the offense was more to blame than the defense. The defense had long sustaining drives on them, right? The Packers marched down the field, but they held them to 3 points or no points at all. Bend, don't break, right? That's fantastic. At the end of the day, you got to score more points than your opponents. If you hold them to 3, you give yourself a fighting chance. The offense could not get any points. Now, I know people are saying, hey, well, the offense barely had any time in the field because the defense getting marched down. Well, I'm like, well, the offense didn't have much time because they didn't sustain their drives. And they couldn't score. They couldn't even get in field goal range. So it really was, like you said, the first game, it was kind of like a tale of two halves. This was a tale of let's say there's 48 minutes. It was like a tale of 42 minutes and the final, counting overtime, 6 minutes plus overtime. Because like you said, in that 6 minutes, Caleb, when it mattered most, and the offense, because there's a lot of great running plays on that as well. Kyle Monunga looked great, and DeAndre Swift on those last 2 drives. Marched down the field, did what they need to do, and then overtime, the ball finally bounced our way. They fumbled on the 4th down, and the Bears capitalized, and we obviously saw the kill shot. And we forget about that pass by DJ Moore. I mean, to DJ Moore before the game-winning catch where he runs across, jumps up in the air, and just gets clobbered in the back. A beautiful dart by Caleb Williams in the middle of the field, but not an easy pass and catch. So we saw clutch plays not only from the Iceman himself, but also to DJ Moore, which is great to see because I know a lot of people don't have high sentiment on DJ, but that man just balls out. After getting his back just demolished on a somewhat dirty play to start the game. So really have to shout out those 2 players because those final 2 drives with the run game, they really sealed it there. And the offensive line, fantastic. They had some penalties, right? They had about, I think, 2. That Darnold right false start was bad, but he played pretty well other than that. But yeah, it's just what a game because I think they said, Kevin Burkhardt said, I think it was a 0.5% chance that they were going to win before the onside kick. And they won the game. That is not the Bears team. And we've seen it throughout the season. This is not the same Bears team. Last year, they go 0 for 7 on games like this. And this year, they've won every single game where they've been that close, except the Packers game in the first matchup. So they are basically, I think, 6-1 in close games. And I think you tweeted it out now. Caleb Williams now leads the league, the NFL, in comeback drives to win the game with 6. So the Iceman, as some people may think that's corny, it's factual because the dog lives up to the highest moments at the brightest light. The guy plays at the highest when the lights are the brightest, and that's what you need in your quarterback. You'd love to see the offense score a little bit more in the beginning of the game, like anything. Don't go into the half with 0 points. Yeah, but they found a way to be gritty and get a win. So you can't.
Let me say this real quick, because I think the offense is. We were critical. We're going to be critical.
For sure.
They only said it once on the broadcast, or maybe twice if I missed it. Luther Burden and Rome Odunze were out, and that is huge.
It was.
No matter how you think of Rome, and I know people love Luther, but Rome is a freaking dog. And you got to – but Jade Walker, the rookie, making plays. So it's like next man up has really been a theme this year for the Bears. But I want to go back to Caleb Williams real quick. I truly believe this is a superstar already. I think he has entered that stratosphere. And I know the first 3.5 quarters, up until really 5 minutes left in the 4th, it was rough. It was not great. Shout out to Packers DC, Jeff Haley, right? Is it Haley?
God, yeah, Jeff Haley, freaking good.
He's going to be a head coach, and he was masterful. He outcoached Ben Johnson. Simple as that for the first 5 minutes.
I said that.
For the first 5 minutes. For the first 3.5 quarters, I truly believe it. Yeah. the first 3.5 quarters. But I truly believe Caleb is a very different type of superstar quarterback because the stats aren't going to be eye popping sometimes, and they may come in like waves or like tsunamis because like from the final 5 minutes of the fourth through the final touchdown pass, he was just really making everything happen. Whether it was obviously the receivers tried their best. There was a couple, I think 3 drops in those final from the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and then overtime. I think I don't know if there was a drop in overtime, but what I'm trying to say here is I think Caleb Williams is truly a different type of superstar quarterback because his efficiency isn't there quite yet. And if it ever does, I think that's where it gets scary. But we talk about his throwaways, right? Sometimes he does that on purpose to avoid these sacks. And I just don't think he's going to be a 70% clip guy like Jared Goff or something like that. And that's because Caleb is so unique. And for me, I think the thing that separates him is it's similar to like Mahomes early on in his career is he just is so clutch. And I don't think we've ever had that as a quarterback in Chicago. You look at Jay Cutler, you look at, I'm not going to name other guys because you can't, but Caleb Williams is so different when the game is in the balance and he's so calm and he makes plays after plays. And I don't think any other quarterback in this league outside a couple throw that ball to DJ because it's in Chicago. How many times did they show the cups, the towels just being thrown and blown across the field, right? That wind is unbelievable.
They said
his arm
20 miles
is like his arm is just like 20 miles per hour, and his arm can cut through it. It's truly unbelievable. And I think we just have to understand that Caleb is there's going to be some times where it's so maddening. But if this game is close, there's no better quarterback in the NFL right now. Or no scarier quarterback than Caleb Williams because he just delivers. And I understand he had the interception on Green Bay the first time. It doesn't mess with his confidence. It doesn't. And it's just so fun to watch. I can't wait to see him grow because he is literally scratching the surface, him and Ben Johnson. I got to give him all the credit because I just didn't think there was a possibility of them coming back. Obviously, the onside kick, shout out to Santos, right? We went 12 minutes in this show, and he had an insane game.
That was probably his best game all year. From 3 for 3 on kicks and that type of win and getting an onside kick. I mean, what else do you want him? That was perfect, Like you couldn't have played a better game. And I don't even blame him for that late game situation. Not late game, before the half. I felt Ben Johnson didn't have any of those guys running out there quick. He has to, you can't rush that type of field goal. And that wind, I get it. We ended up losing, it did get us under the 2 minutes. That didn't help. But, I think that was bad mismanagement by Ben Johnson. And I think overall, even though we got the win, my only, major critique, if I'm going to put on the negative hat, is I think that was Ben Johnson's worst coach game. But what's crazy is they found a way to win. Even with all that. And again, it's never just one person. It's never just your head coach. It's never just your defense. It's never just your quarterback. It's obviously a mix of things. But overall, I felt like with the penalties, the mismanagement of the clock and timeouts, I felt like that was his worst game. And they still found a way to win. How about that? Normally that doesn't happen in Chicago. We saw what happened last year. When your coach sucks in the game, you typically lose the game in heartbreaking fashion. And that did not happen tonight. So hats off. Hats off to everyone for doing the improbable, the impossible. Just did not think they had a chance to do it, and they did it. So it's hard. I'm always optimistic about this team, but there's still stuff to critique, I should say. But you can't apologize for a win. You just can't. It's so hard to win in the NFL. I think there's someone here said, Gage, Patreon member, said first time in 6 years the Bears beat the Packers at home. So even with all of the negative stuff that went on, all of the live tweeting that we did, they did something that had not been done in half a decade. So you got to give credit to where it's deserved. Crazy stuff.
I know we got Jack here. We can bring Jack on. I think he was at work, but he's coming in to hop in the pod. But yeah, I do want to give just a little bit of love to Santos, like you said. Incredible game today. The way that he can truly kick in Chicago, he's mastered it. And And really both kickers. Did the Packers miss any? No.
McManus was
pretty impressive from both sides, but Santos really more so. And
you see that one curve by McManus, though? I'm not gonna lie. That kick was crazy. Yeah. Like he literally shot it all the way over here and the wind took it there. But yeah, it was a lot of comments here waiting on the
McMahon. It was just impressive. It was honestly a clinic. I will say that, like, this was impressive in Chicago with this wind. Incredible stuff from both of them. But Santos, I think we got to talk about his ability to kick the onside. Like, he's impressive. I mean, he's up there. I think he's got two, maybe three. Is it three?
He got three.
It's impressive. And I love what I really like is how the Bears just attack that ball. I can't wait to break it down. Like, they smelled blood. That second hop, you just saw, like, obviously they're already running towards it, but it's like that second hop, there was like a life. And you just, I felt, I was like, they got a shot here. And then they popped. Yeah. Who was it? Jordan Wicks?
No, it was Romeo Doubs, which is crazy. They're like one of the most sure-handed wide receivers.
He had it.
Right there in between.
But the concentration, he's got three guys just, blowing up the defenders, and the Bears just smacked him. But then to get the ball too, because it was a fight, incredible. And the Bears, I really want to give him credit. Tremaine Edmonds, like, when the ball is on the ground, these guys are different. They come up with the ball so often at such a high rate. I really want to know what the league average is when there's a fumble, because I feel like the Bears are always getting that ball.
Well, it was because they got guys like Nashawn Wright that strip the ball. Just leads the league in 8 turnovers, I think it is, like 2 strip fumbles and 6 interceptions. Like, dog is playing out of his mind. I'm sorry. I feel like you have to figure out a way to have him stay in this system. It's obviously working. What he's doing right now, obviously he probably won't have this. It's hard to replicate it year after year, but just his mentality and his play has been pretty good. Like, his coverage has been pretty good as well. So I'm like, you got to figure out a way to get him back in Chicago. So, what that might be, I don't know if I've seen in my 32 years of living a breakout player as big as this. I don't think I've ever seen someone who was on a practice squad the year before, in the following year, leads the NFL in turnovers. Like, this is stuff that they're gonna, like, share to little kids as motivation. Like, look, this is don't give up type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because you don't see this often. It's almost like the closest thing I can think of who ended up having a fantastic career is like Adam Thielen, who didn't break out till like year 5 or something, and he was basically a special teamer his whole first 5 years, and then he became a really, really good wide receiver. So I don't know. This is remarkable. I know it gets talked about, but I don't think people actually realize how big of a jump that is. Practice squad to just certified baller, crazy.
Yeah, I agree with all that. There's just so much I want to talk about, Fick. I don't even know where to go next sometimes.
I know,
there's so many things. We haven't got to some of the calls on this game. I know the Bears shot themselves in the foot a lot, but some of these penalties, man, it was quite unfathomable at certain points. But
what was the worst one? Well, no, what was your worst? What was the penalty that happened tonight where you're like, what the hell, NFL? What was the biggest one? I know for me what it was. There was a lot. There was 10, by the way.
The biggest one for me. The no call on Cole Kmet was frustrating, but I got to say this. Austin Booker getting sacks taken away. The roughing the passer was, I get it, I guess. But the one where Jordan Love unfortunately goes and he's out, right? Mm-hmm. I feel for him. But Jordan Love lowered his head. That's because Austin Booker's coming in and he's hitting him in the chest. Until Jordan Love just starts bringing his head down, Booker cannot. It's like that. It is fast, and for him to be penalized, and that's he had 2 sacks today. He had 2 sacks, or he had 1 sack. It would have been 1 sack, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's probably up there. What about you? Is that the same one?
No, that was mine. That was mine because it's tough because obviously they're trying to prevent what literally happened tonight in the NFL, which is concussions. That happened head to head. Pretty easy way to get a concussion. So I understand what the NFL is trying to do, but it's such a quick play And if the quarterback puts himself in a position to where the defense cannot change his trajectory, right? It's unfavorable for the defense, and it makes it even harder. And I get it. This is exactly what they're trying to stop, because when quarterbacks are out, the quality of the games and competitions drop, and they want to make money. And obviously they don't want their players hurt. So I totally understand it. It just makes it so difficult for edge defenders and defensive tackles and nose tackles to figure out how they can bring their quarterback down. Because think of this, we see it all the time. If you don't get, like, especially if the quarterback can still see, they can deliver the ball. So a lot of times you're trying to get in their way to take them down. We saw that with Shedeur against, right? You thought you literally have your full body on him. He can still see. He can, as long as he can see, he can get the ball out. If Shedeur can do it, then tons of quarterbacks can do it. So I don't even blame Booker for that, but it's just like, how else are you going to call that? I don't know. And also, because I think you brought this up before, it's not consistent. It's one of the most inconsistent calls. Now, the head-to-head, maybe not, but the one before that they also called on Booker, I'm like, that's late, but Caleb gets hit like that all the time. Fields used to get hit like 10 seconds after the play, and they wouldn't call it. So it's just interesting how they decide on who gets the calls and who doesn't. Muted.
I want to say it's so... I'm looking up, like, I want to look up Justin Fields because I feel like we complained a lot about that. Same with Caleb. I think we've complained a little bit, especially his rookie year, about him not getting calls. And I'm looking here. It is too inconsistent. And sometimes I think it really punishes the defensive players, and it takes sacks away. It changes games. It keeps drives alive. And I understand why, like you laid it out perfectly. They want to protect these guys. This is the product, and quarterbacks are the most important position. And when a guy goes down, Malik Willis did great today, but like usually there's a huge drop off in production and offensive and how it looks. But that one, I said my piece on it. I hope he's all right. I think it's just a concussion. I don't know how long he's out. However, but it's like it's a brutal call there. And I just don't know. I don't even know how you fix it, Vic. Like, I think that's at the end of the day, they're going to call it. I think they're just going to call it how it is. It's not going to change. And we just got to keep, I guess, yelling at the clouds and when it affects our team and our players. So,
yeah, it's just inconsistent. It's kind of like pass interference. And it's just, they got to get better with, if you're going to call it one way, just make sure you consistently do that. I'm fine. So then defenders know they can try their best. It's not going to be a perfect game. A lot of it, it's a vicious sport. Plays are really quick, so things are going to happen. That's just game time decisions. But yeah, I think that was my biggest one. But overall, even though the refs probably maybe 3 to 4 plays, the Bears also had easily 6 to 7 penalties. That was just purely them fucking up. So hopefully they can clean that up and get ready for this next game against the 49ers. And we got Jack here. Jack,
what's up, boys?
What's up? Rushing home from work, right?
We are pulled over right now. I am dead stop here. Phone's getting low. Gotta pull over.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you could hop on. First off, question: were you able to watch the game?
Yes.
Work?
Absolutely.
I
cut off.
And I was like, okay.
Once the tweeting started is when I had time, and like it was like slow, and then boom. It was all right. I'll walk you through. So at halftime, I was fully like, this team's the worst of all time. When I tweeted, I left it up there. I was like, dude, Ben Johnson offense having 0 points in the first half is gross. Like, that is gross. I get Roman Luther aren't in.
Yeah.
It's gross still. Like, not even having 3 sucks. So then at that point, I was like, I feel like Ben Johnson's just not the guy. Caleb sucks. This whole team should be blown into pieces. Let's trade everything we've got. Start the rebuild now. Obviously being overdramatic. Then, I mean, dude, I don't know if you guys felt like this too, but when the fourth quarter started, I not one time felt like it was over. Not one time. Like, that Caleb and Ben have brought here now, where it is just like, this is a real team that can win big games in the big moments. Like, King of the Fourth, we called DeMar DeRozan that all the time when he was in Chicago. King of the Fourth. Caleb Williams is the fucking King of the Fourth, dude. Like, it is truly unbelievable how we pull it off. It feels like a dream, and I say this every episode ever. This proves we're legit. It just does. It just does. If I hear one fucking person say that Malik Willis was in and Jordan wasn't, and that's how we won week 18, that sucks because we don't have Rome. We don't have Luther. We all had the same thing. I get not having your starter. To be fair, I think Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love. Dive into that next episode. But moral of the story, dude, is go ahead, Fick.
No, I was going to say your Malik Willis comment. I actually felt once Malik came in, not that because I still think Jordan Love's good, but we talked about this in the pregame, Dave, earlier today. The Bears suck, absolutely abysmal at containing mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Think about who we've lost to this year. We lost to Snoop Huntley. We lost to who's the other mobile quarterback that diced? Jordan Love had some big runs on us too. I think he had like 50 rushing against us. We have not been good against quarterbacks, and they break the contain. And we saw it with Jordan Love on a third down, 2 third downs before he got knocked out, where it was like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 6, and the man basically runs for a first down. So when Malik Willis came in and I saw that 4th down run, I was like, yeah, this Bears team is not going to do a good job. They haven't all year. And I was actually more concerned about them stopping Malik Willis than I was of Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love, you might get lucky and he can throw a pick or two. The dude has thrown 4 picks in the last 3 games or something like that, or 3 picks in the last 3 games. So he might give one to you. Malik Willis is not throwing the ball much. They're running it and he's running it. And I'm like, the opportunity to get an interception, which are easier to get than fumbles, is not high. And lucky enough, we actually got a fumble, which is actually crazy. But my faith was not super high when Malik Willis was in, which is crazy to think about just because this team has not done well. And I was getting flashbacks of the Ravens game.
Totally. Right. And that's what I mean. It's just like, the whole thing came together. I think that I just don't know what he says at halftime to fire the boys up. I just don't know. Because whatever the hell happens, it works.
How many games?
What it reminded me of with Malik Willis was Tyrone Huntley in Baltimore, and at the end of the day, the Bears defense, they just struggle with mobile quarterbacks. I think that's just the case. And then you throw in the fact they weren't preparing for one is huge.
Doesn't help.
And I wanted to tweet that I would prefer Jordan Love over Malik Willis because of that factor, but Jordan Love, he can kill too. I think he is. Sure. I think he's a good quarterback at the end of the day. I think he has weaknesses, but so does Caleb. I think they're just kind of different players, but Jordan off his back foot is incredible. And so the mobility factor, I think, played a huge role. And I think also the wind, it's just that weather. I understand it's bear weather, but both teams kind of looked gassed, especially on defense. I don't know if you guys saw that, especially in the overtime.
Offense too. You saw that
even
DJ Moore.
DJ didn't get lined up.
Yep.
However, that's I almost wanted to put that on kid. I know they're running fast, but you gotta make sure DJ. I think
the clock was running. Was it running low though? I wasn't sure. I felt like they took a minute to get back, but yeah, you got to be set for that. That ended up being a big one, but it didn't matter anyway. So they ended up.
Malik Willis, dude. What a performance!
But he did that against us. He did that again. We lost to Malik Willis. What was that? 3 years ago, where Jordan Love didn't play. And we almost lost to Malik Willis last year, and we won a game-winning field goal. That was Malik Willis for most of the game, and that was a close one as well. So, yeah, the Bears, for some reason, the Bears defense, which they've been good all year, at least from takeaway standpoint, and bending, not breaking, they play down to the competition of their quarterbacks. It's weird. Oh, it's Joe Flacco, 45-year-old Joe Flacco. Well, we'll let him go for 500. Now, they got 3 takeaways, but still, it's I don't get it. They'll play better against a Jalen Hurts than they do Snoop Huntley. So NFL's crazy, but they found a way to win all those games except the Baltimore.
You just said it. The NFL is crazy. This is the craziest. It's such a fun league, dude. It's especially when the Bears are winning. It's just remarkable. I want to take a quick moment here. We have over 13,000 across all platforms. You guys are killing it. If you can, hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, anywhere you're at, just hit that like button, subscribe, comment, helps the algorithm. You guys are killing it. We're almost at 13,000 subs. We're over 1 million views for the past month. So you guys, like I said, the Bears keep winning and you guys keep on supporting, and we appreciate it. At the end of the day, like Fick says, we are fans just like you. We cover the team, but we are just as excited. And I hope that kind of shows up on the screen for you guys as well. I think we'll take our quick ad break, Fick, and then let's jump right back into this.
Absolutely.
First off, thank you for watching the BFR Podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe, as it just helps our show grow and helps the algorithm get this show out to other awesome, amazing Bear fans like y'all as we're trying to grow this community. If this is your first time, also leave a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. That's hashtag New Face Gang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time, this is your second time, you watched over 100 episodes or anything in between, then you are a true OG, and we want to show you some love as well. So please leave a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Thank y'all for all the support for the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, the BFR Podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Absolutely. About as quick as it can be. Let's get back into it. Let's go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say two things real quick. Share a quote from Caleb Williams.
Okay, let's hear it.
The YouTube thumbnail is destiny, and I think that plays a part here. This team does feel like almost a team of destiny. When you're getting onside kicks like that, it just feels odd. It feels odd. I think I tweeted the Bears, the Pope is a Bears fan. This is a little crazy. Yeah. But Caleb was asked about it. He goes, team of destiny. That's the cool part about destiny. You got to get to the end to know we are going to keep working. We're going to keep striving for wins. We're going to keep striving for being a top team in this league. We're going to keep fighting until that clock hits 0, and we're going to look up and see who wins. I think he's embracing a little bit. You can see kind of the smirk. He talked about it. All teams go when they start 0-2. Teams go on the run all the time. Why not us, essentially? And then he went on to say, "I got the best coach in the world. I have the best coaching staff."